Good day everyone, welcome to the Video Fashion channel. And today this is what we are learning. How to make this A gown with pleated down and then split at the upper bust as well with turtleneck. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, share and subscribe. And if you have any questions pertaining this style, you can put it in the comment section. I'll be waiting there for you. Thank you. So the measurement I will use for this tutorial is shoulder to nipple point 9, shoulder to under bust 12, shoulder to half length 15, then circumference of the bust is 32, circumference of the under bust is 27, circumference of the half length is 25.5, shoulder is 15. Then I will determine the hip length on 24, because from our shoulder to our hip length is 24 inches. Then the gown length is 39. That's for the short gown. So, and the circumference of the hip too is 34. Okay. So now, because of the direction of my fabric, I'm using a chiffon fabric of 2 yards. You can see there's a line. So I want to follow the pattern. So now, for the straight lines, I'm going to use that for the down part. So I'm cutting this way. So now the pleat starts from below the hip length. So now our hip length is 24. I will add like 3 inches to it, making 27. So I will now say my gown length minus the 27, which is 39 minus 27. So it will give me 12 inches. So I will add 1 inch for the seam allowance. That will give me 13 inches. So now the 13 inches, since I'm going to make the gown is like a gown at the upper part. So the hip measurement is, the circumference of the hip is 34. Then I will just double my chiffon by 2, which is 34 times 2. I'm making use of the hip measurement for the gather, for the pleated gown. So I'll save my hip times 2. That's 34 times 2. That will give me 68. So I'm going by 13 inches by 68. So 13 inches. I will notch it so I can tear it then by 68. So this is 60 inches, then the 8 inches extra. Thank God I have more than enough here. So I'm making use of 69 plus my seam allowance, so I'll just cut off this part. So now I folded my fabric into 2. Then I measured from the shoulder. I'm using this side for the shoulder, so I measured the nipple point, which is 9 inches, the under bust 12 inches, 15 inches for the half length. Then where I'm going to determine my hip, I measured 24 inches. Then because of how the style is, I added 3 inches extra allowance. That's for where the pleat is going to start from. Then I gave it ½ inch seam allowance. So the next thing I'll do is I'll come up here again and measure the circumference of my shoulder. The shoulder is 15 inches. So divided by 2 will give me 7.5. Then I'll come to the nipple point 2 and measure the total circumference of the bust, which is 32. 32 divided by 4. You know I said our body part is divided into 4. 32 divided by 4 will give me 8 inches. Then on the under bust, the under bust is 27 divided by 4 will give me 6.25 or so. 6.8 or something. So then at the half length is 25. Half length, that too will be divided by 4. That's 6.25. So only 6.28. Let me just use 7 for here. So I will not confuse myself. Then at the hip length, the circumference of the hip is 34. 34 divided by 4 will give me 8.5. So I'll just connect the lines like so. Then here, I'll still transfer the 34 here, which is 8.5. Then I'll add 3 inches extra. That's for the A. You know, the down part is like A. So now I'm not going to make use of this hip again. I'll just connect it to this line, to my half length. It's like A. Then I will add 2 inches seam allowance to it. Then I'll connect this as well. So I'll come up here and I'll measure my armhole. The armhole, where I'm going to determine the armhole of this my client, because she's not too fat, I'll use 6.5 inches. Then I'll rule it again up. Then what I measured here, the total circumference I have here is 10 inches. I'll transfer the 10 inches here. Then add 1 inch for the armhole slant, like so. Then from here, I'll come down by, instead of using 4.5 this time around, I'll use 4 inches. Then at this angle, I'll just measure 1, then connect it like so. So this is for my front bodice, then I'll cut it out. So now I've placed my front bodies on the remaining fabric to cut my back bodies out. But in this case, I'm not going to put zip allowance because it's TurtleNeck, and also I want to fix boxing instead of using zip. So I'll just cut it out when you do the neckline. So for the neckline, since it's going to have TurtleNeck, I'll measure 2.5 inches, like so. I'll measure 2.5 inches. Then, you know, I'm cutting both front and back together. So I will still remove the front to adjust the neck. So I measure 2.5 inches by 1 inch. I'll first trim out the neckline. Then the next thing I will do now is I'll come to this shoulder side, then measure 1 inch to make the shoulder slope. You know, our shoulder is not straight. I'll just trim this side out. Then the next thing is I will notch the middle, then remove front from back. So I will open up the back. This is the one I'm using for the back. So I will open it up to like 5 inches. That's where my button is going to stay. So now I will open the middle part up like so. So after doing that, I'll place back the front bodies. Then for the neckline, this is the front, so I will come down by 2.5 inches because of the TurtleNeck, 2.5 inches. And I'll just cut it like so, trim it up. And I will notch it. So I'm done with this. So because of how the style is, you know, there is pleat here as well at this shoulder side. So what I will do now is to chalk out where the pleat is going to. Now the pleat ends at the upper bust. So The upper bust is where your bust starts from. So now I'm going to use 7 for that. That's where the upper bust is. So I'll go by 7. I'll measure 7 inches. Then connect it to this side because I measured like 3.5 inches. So on this side too, I'll measure 3.5 inches. And it is sleeveless. There's not going to be any sleeve attached to it. I'll do likewise for the back because at the back as well. So now for the pleats. So for the pleats, I'm going to use 4 inches. I'm going to fold it this way and pleat it on it. So I'll go by 4 inches by 80. The length will be 80 inches. So notch it. This depends on how tiny or how many pleats you want. So I'll measure 80 inches. Now for the turtleneck, I've joined my shoulder. The front and the back, I've joined them together. So now I will now measure the circumference I have here. That's 16 inches. 16 inches. So I will measure from my remaining fabric. I'll measure 17 inches. I will use 1 inch for joining my shoulder, my collar or turtleneck together. So I'll measure 17 inches. That's 1 inch plus the 16 inches. The 1 inch is for seam allowance. So I'll measure 17 by 4. The width is 4, while the length is 17. So what will happen is I will use half for the joining. So now here I'll measure ½ inch, then just bend it from that ½ inch to this length, just to give it small curve shape here. Then I will notch the middle. And I will open the middle up. Actually, you can cut this separately. It's not necessary that you cut them together like I did. So then I'll notch the middle.